Hey everyone, Cathie Investor back with another Square video for today. So in today's video, I'm going to try and make sense to how I believe Square could reach $1 trillion in valuation by 2026. I've touched on this point and discussed it with Dave Lee in another video. If you want to check that out, it's going to be in the top right corner. I've also covered ARK's Invest $500 price target for Square in another video. That will be as well in the top right corner. So according to ARK's Invest big ideas for 2021, digital wallets could be worth as much as $4.6 trillion by 2025, and that's just in the United States. How they can reach that number will be discussed in this video. I'm also going to touch on how Twitter could use Cash App if they want to integrate e-commerce and other businesses to Twitter. Seeing Jack Dorsey is the CEO of both companies, that shouldn't really be a problem. But before I do so, I just want to thank everyone that has been subscribing lately. We're on the way to 15,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. If you like these videos, use an early thumbs up as it really helps me outgrow the channel and get my videos out there. I would also like to thank the Motley for sponsoring this video. The Motley is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me find the latest growth stock and innovative company. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services, the Full Offers. Through the Motley Stock Advisor service, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have returned over 500%. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more this year, you can visit www.fool.com/couchinvestor or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if Stock Advisor is right for you. Now let's get on with this video. Alright, so mobile payments, digital wallets, etc. is nothing new. Country like China or a continent like Africa has been leading the way for years right now. So we're going to look a bit at how this Chinese market has grown. So it says here the volume of mobile payments in China has exploded more than 15-fold in just 5 years, from roughly $2 trillion in 2015, right here, to an estimated $36 trillion, nearly 3 times the size of China's GDP in 2020. This growth is actually reflected on companies like Grab, WeChat, and Alipay. Now, why is this opportunity so big? So I'm going to take this example from Lemonade. Lemonade's mission actually is to start with people that are early in their journey in life and then grow with them. As people become older, obviously their premiums rise and obviously they get more and more insured. They go from renters to homeowners, they add pet insurance, life insurance, umbrella, travel insurance, etc. The same thing here could be said with digital wallets. As we can see right here, at maturity, each digital wallet user could be worth roughly $20,000. You can see here on the graph, what does that entail? So roughly $9,400 for offline online commerce, $2,700 for payments, then $2,600 for insurance, personal credit and mortgage, saving and spending, and then $1,000 for brokerage. So they continue by saying if digital wallets were to become consumer financial dashboards, ARK estimates that the net present value associated with their financial service revenues will exceed $10,000 per average US user. Beyond financial services, digital wallets could become a lead generation platform for offline and online commerce, as you can see right here, potentially adding another $9,000 to $10,000 to the net present value of their revenues. And as we've seen in Square's last earnings report, we saw that they can acquire customers for as little as $5. Now imagine you acquire a customer for at least $5, pretty young in his life journey. He only uses it for his brokerage account, something like that. Then continues to grow, credit card spending, e-commerce, online or offline, insurance, savings account, spending account, etc. Obviously that $5 gets repaid pretty quickly. And if ARK is correct, that customer will be valued 10, even 100 times more than what they paid for. And let's be honest, traditional banks, do you think the younger generation would like to go to a bank to maybe settle something or cash in a check? Or do you think they would like to use the likes of Cash App or Venmo? I think the decision is easily made, and then we can actually back it up with this graph right here. So this is the graph that compares JP Morgan's Chase deposit accounts versus Cash App and Venmo annual active users. So in the US, digital wallet users are surpassing the number of deposit account holders at the largest financial institutions. Square's Cash App and PayPal's Venmo each amassed roughly 60 million active users organically in the last 7 and 10 years, respectively, a milestone that took JP Morgan more than 30 years and 5 acquisitions to reach. At the end of 2020, the number of JP Morgan's Chase deposit account holder totaled approximately 60 million here, while Cash App's and Venmo's annual active users scaled to 59 million and 69 million respectively. Now I would also like to show you something Cathie Wood said 2 years ago in a conference regarding the old generation and the younger generation.
You can see that the older age groups are adopting fintech a little faster relative to millennials than they did social media. And part of the reason for that is, I know in my own case, my children want me to use Venmo. They want me to be on Venmo because guess what? It's a way for me to get money to them really quickly. Whereas with social media, they did not want me to be on Facebook or any other place. So I think fintech is taking off for that reason a little faster. You can see 12 years later how much every age group was participating in social media. And we do think the same thing is going to be true of fintech, although perhaps much faster.
So she compared this aspect to social media. Obviously, when Facebook came out, nobody really wanted their parents or their grandparents on Facebook. Right now, I think there are only parents and grandparents on Facebook. So here's that. But as you can see, the older generation is adopting this digital transformation much faster than they did with social media. And I'm not the one that has to explain this. Most of the money these days, it belongs to the older generation. If all that money starts flowing into those digital wallets, that $4.6 trillion opportunity is not so far-fetched. Right, before I talk about the artificial intelligence and how that will help and is helping Square right now, just want to put Twitter into the conversation. What does Twitter and Square have in common? Well, both of them have the CEO, Jack Dorsey. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Twitter stock has been on the rise. Why? Because while people are suddenly seeing that Twitter is being monetized correctly. I think they've reached $1 billion in revenue for the first time. They've added Twitter Spaces, which is incredible. I think Clubhouse will be getting crushed by this. I've participated in a couple of Twitter Spaces and I love it completely. Yes, Twitter has a lot of flaws in its platform, but we're talking here about Square. So how can Square help Twitter or how can Twitter help Square? Twitter, there have been some rumors that they might be going into e-commerce as well and offer payments directly through the platform. Now, what service can help Twitter with e-commerce? Let me think. Square and Cash App could be perfect to partner up with Twitter. Well, because it's pretty easy. Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Square. Put them all together. You have a pretty good and pretty big e-commerce ecosystem and platform. Now, for this to work perfectly, obviously Square and Cash App will need to expand their services worldwide. But if they start with the United States, that's already a pretty big step forward. I would actually like to know what you think about this point, so let me know down in the comments below. Now let's jump back to the artificial intelligence part. So we'll go back to see Cathie Wood at a conference from 2 years ago.
To give you a sense of what AI is already doing, you can see on the right-hand side traditional lenders versus Square. Square, in case you're not familiar with it, is if you've ever seen a mobile phone, you'll see, I don't know if it's in this country yet, I don't think so, but they'll be able to put a little square on top of the mobile phone so that we can swipe our cards. And you've got merchants running businesses on their mobile phone with Square's apps. And because Square is able to monitor every transaction every minute of the day of these businesses, it has so many more data points than a traditional lender when Square says to a merchant, you know, it looks like you might need a working capital loan, or you might want to invest in some equipment. So it's starting to help small businesses build their businesses because it has all of this data and is able to understand the kinds of risks it's dealing with.
So again, data being collected, 300,000 data points for Square, compare that to 800 to a traditional lender, getting an answer results in 7 minutes compared to 60 to 90 days for a business that is life-changing. These are a difference between being in business to being bankrupt. How will this help Square or the business that are using Square services moving forward? So to simplify it, basically Square will become this consultant firm for the small to medium-sized businesses. Obviously, if larger businesses would like to use Square, that's perfectly fine. But again, Square's main goal is to help the unbanked, the underserved. With that data collection, they can help those little businesses become super large businesses. You can again compare this to what Lemonade is doing, changing the whole insurance industry, because they collect so much more data points than traditional insurance companies. I know a lot of people thought, oh, but this can be easily copied. I think if it was easily copied, Square would not have been such a great business right now, because traditional banks and traditional lenders would have copied this business model a long time ago. So to sum this all up, if you add all of this information together, it wouldn't be so crazy for Square to be worth $1 trillion by 2026. I think 2025, which is the goal for ARK Invest, I think for me is a bit too soon. 2026, we could see already a huge shift in digital wallets, in the overall global economy, and I think Square is perfectly positioned to take advantage of that. Obviously, PayPal also a very, very big player. And a lot of you have been asking me PayPal or Square. I like them both. Lucky for me, I've been in Square for a long time, and that's been my number 2 position in my portfolio. So obviously I will take Square's side, but you cannot go wrong with PayPal as well. Now let me know down in the comments below what you think of it. Do you hold Square? Do you think they can reach $1 trillion in the next 5 years? Do you hold PayPal? Which one do you like better? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will be it for this video. If you liked it, consider leaving a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. And as always guys, take care, stay safe. See you all in the next video. Bye bye.